Every time he would beat me down to the floor, he would take a piece of me every time. And every time I was on the floor, I remember when my mom and my dad were together. Well, they separated so many years ago. That's the same thing he would do to my mom. And I remember telling myself I would never allow myself to be in this situation. And now I was in that situation, and I was ashamed of myself for putting myself in that situation, until one time I actually thought we had a very bad fight, and I thought, well, one day this man is going to kill me. And when he does, what happens to my daughter? So that was my turning point. I'm not a single mother by choice. It was a circumstance. So I was in an abusive relationship with my daughter's father at 17, 18, and 19. I was a teenager. So it was a toxic relationship. And initially, when I was, he was my first love. So I thought, is the person I would end up with and everything will be fine. But that was not the case. Before having my daughter, he didn't show the signs of being, an abusive partner until after I had my daughter. That's when he started becoming not just physical, emotional, and psychological abusive. So I decided to, walk out of the relationship. In terms of physical abuse, yes, he used to beat me up. He would go out, come back very late, and when I would ask him, why are you home this hour, or where were you? He would beat me up, like physical, and call me names and tell me I am nothing. I would never get married if I left him. If I ever decided to leave him, I was not going to, be successful. I'll just go and come back. And he actually got to my head. And every time he would beat me, I stayed and thought, okay, fine, he's right, because he was a bit older than I was. And I thought, he must be right. I mean, where was I going? A teenager, no papers, no nothing, no job. Where would I go? And he was so sure I was not going to go back home because I loved him so much. So I had to do what was best for me and my daughter. So I packed and I had to report it at the nearest police station because he wouldn't let me go. He told me no matatu would ever allow you to board for you to go home. So every time I went to the stage, his friends would call him and tell him, look, Mama Lanisha kwa stage, and he would call and I would run back home. So it happened so many times until, I just had it. And I reported to the nearest police station and I was like, look, I need help. I need to go home. This man will kill me. I didn't want my daughter growing up to see me being beaten down on the floor, being locked up in the house. That was too much. I didn't want my daughter to grow up seeing that kind of treatment. As for my daughter, I'm not afraid that she's going to repeat the same mistakes that I did, because I've had times where we've shared so much. I've told her what went wrong between me and her dad, not because I want her to hate her father. No. So I think she's going to make very wise decisions. She's going to be fine, more probably than I did, because we didn't sit and have that conversation with my mom. I think she was my mom is reserved, and the way we've raised our kids nowadays, it's not how probably our mothers have raised us. Those are not discussions or topics we'd even talk about. You can't talk about your dad with your mother. So we never had that conversation with my mom. But when it happened to me, I felt the need to discuss that with her. For now, my daughter has no relationship with her dad. She's not seen him in, so many years. so many years. Not my choice, his choice. But she's come to terms with the fact that he's not involved. But when she started asking, when she turned 4 and 5, like really asking, I called him, told him, look, I don't mind you having a relationship with her, because he tried reaching out and apologizing. So she just got tired of waiting for him to come pick her for play dates, waiting every other year, waiting. And it's cost her so much hurt every time he says he's going to show up and he doesn't show up. But I think she's over it now. Well, there are challenges being a mom and a cop. Sometimes I feel guilty. I wish I could have more time to spend with her. I wish I could be there all the time, pick her from school, drop her off, assist with her homework, take her on play dates all the weekends, which I can't because I'm working. But it is what it is. We have to work, we have to provide for them, we have to. It's crazy, but hey, but there's the thing. Don't go having kids when you're not supposed to have kids. Your story might turn out so bad. And don't look at me and be like, okay, fine, she figured it out. I'll figure it. No. It's time for everything. Because as a single mom, I have to work twice as hard. I have to be. Sometimes it's very draining. That's the truth. So for single moms out there, don't lose hope. There is hope. So just hang in there and keep it moving. Keep working. Hustle for your kids, hustle for yourself, and be very proud of yourself, because you are doing the best you can.